Welcome back to the Right People to Meet podcast. My name is Tumu. It's been a while, but we apologize for a few weeks that we have not broadcast. But we are back like we never left. We are always here to try to bring to you some of the people that you should actually meet, because the concept of this show is that rather than meet the empty fame, the people of fame for fame's sake on social media who tell you that the reason why you should follow them and the reason why they have conquered life is because they have bathroom selfies of iPhones. Because instead of meeting people like that, you actually take time to meet real change makers. You get to meet disruptors. You get to meet people who are building systems. You get to meet people who tell you that, life is not a Hollywood production. Life actually has rules on ground. And if you follow those rules, you might get a desired outcome. Instead of just being there trying to fit in and fake it, the whole fake it until you make it. Today, joining me is a man of very, very, very many talents, a passionate farmer, a leader, a systems builder, and one of the people that is so passionate about transforming mindsets of young people, a role model, a person that is mentoring people, a mentor, and generally a very, very, very intelligent and smart guy. Welcome to the show, Mr. Joel.
Thank you so much, Conan.
How are you? How is it going?
Yeah, you're very good.
Yeah.
How about you?
Man, these days you only did these days when someone looks at you, they can tell the things that have been good.
The Katikiro of Uganda says Nkumbi Telimba.
Nkumbi Telimba. We have something very interesting that people might be seeing on set. First, tell us about this one. We are seeing Kofea Tenor. First, tell us about this.
Well, Coffee Tena is our very first coffee brand produced by the Brainstorm Farms.
Okay.
And this is specifically from our model farm in Nakasongola, Kakoge, Town Council. Coffea is a botanical name or scientific name for coffee. And then Tena is a broad Swahili word that means a gate. So this is coffee again. This is our single origin coffee, single sourced from one farm. Having multiple farms doesn't mean that you're getting from all the different farms, but this is sourced from one farm. And fine Robusta, of course, that's as per the assessment of the Robusta coffees. And top quality Robusta is always referred to as the fine Robusta. Yeah. When you look at the logo of our coffee, of course, you see a cup of coffee and a rhino. And this is simply because we are trying to relate our product to the community where it's produced from. This coffee is produced in Nakasongola, which is the home of rhinos in Uganda.
Oh, wow. That's a powerful story. That's a powerful story. So the Greenstop Farm. Me, when I met you, we met in an office. We met under AC. We met in the so-called corporate spaces, whereby when you go to work, first thing you look at an office and you're tempted to take a picture and put it on Instagram. And then now, after a while, I see you and you have moved goalposts. You have changed. You're no longer interested in this office setting. You have founded the Greenstop Limited. You are growing. I think actually the first time we talked about it, you had started something even before you went into the whole Greenstop thing. You were telling me that you are trying to grow coffee somewhere there in Bwindi. But then now, Joel, you have transformed. You're a farmer. The passion for farming is unlike anything I've ever seen. What is the secret? What did you find that some of us do not know? Is there witchcraft? What is it that you guys, when you go to farming, it's like you found love?
Well, thank you for why I chose farming away from the office setup, the AC setup. It's not that someone doesn't want the ACs in the offices. It's not that someone doesn't want the swinging chairs in the offices, but we want to look at sustainability.
Okay.
I can sit in an AC office today, but I'm not so sure about my tomorrow in that same office. And then I also look at how much I am getting from the office and the ACs. I don't say how much in terms of how much money I am going to bank or take home, but I also look at what it comes along with. Farming to me for now is my passion, and it is something I do with a lot of love, and I always want to position myself in a way that I want to change the image of farming. And how do I do that? Unlike of late, but back in the days, farming was seen as a punishment. Every time you would go to school, perform a wrong way, your parents would say, if you continue with this kind of performance, you will go and graze the goats.
Yeah.
If you continue with this, you go take care of the cattle, you go dig.
Yeah.
So it was seen as a punishment. And me, I'm saying, no, this is not possible. So I chose to go to farming, start up this enterprise, the Western Farm, and it is coming up to be one of the best stations that anyone would wish to work at. And we want to now shift all the good things, all the good offices, all the SC offices, all the good chairs into the farming setup. You come to the farm, but of course it has also the setup of a farm or
Of the office.
of a good office.
It's a corporate work.
Yes, so that anybody or any young child, any young person can feel the interest to come learn farming, to come be part of the family, because whatever that you are looking for in the other offices, or maybe you needed to be a lawyer or a pilot or what, you can have it in farming.
In farming. So now that comes from what you're telling me. You're advocating for a mindset shift.
Yes.
So now when you talk about a mindset shift, a mindset change, usually that means, because every time there is a conversation about a mindset change, that means that for a very long time, there has been a wrong mindset that actually needs to be changed. So now this shift towards agriculture, I'm noticing that this is something that is coming our way because all of us are sharing the same problems. The books are not, they say education is the key, but it's in very, very few specific areas of education. Not that we're trying to demonize education. Please get your qualifications. Do not say that we have told you not to study. That's not bad. Education being available. But then I think one of the things that we have lost in terms of education is we have lost the meaningfulness of what we are educating and traded that for capitalism and just validation to say that you have a certificate, something that you can give. So if a person has reached an age whereby they got that degree, but then they feel stuck, what's the first thing they do? Because people reach master's degree and they don't have any job, which is really weird because you just pass through the whole of these streets and you see boys, young boys who are not so educated, and already they are men. They're women. They're employing themselves, or they are doing something that is employable. But then you ask yourself, why is a person really at master's level, but they can't find a job?
It is surprising that some parents, if a child goes studies and has a degree, let's say in agriculture like I did, and I choose to go and start my farming enterprise somewhere, my parents will be very annoyed with me.
They will be disappointed.
And sincerely speaking, this was the experience I went through.
Wow.
My mom at some point thought, this boy is a failure.
Yeah.
Instead of going to look for jobs,
Instead of going in the SC place.
yes. Actually, when you finish a university, go start up your business somewhere. Your parents will be very annoyed. They'll be in a community. They'll be looking miserable. My child has failed to find a job.
Because they understand you have to be seated at a desk in an office.
They have attached being okay, securing your future, to being in an employment world. It's all about now the parents. Let's instill confidence in this. The unfortunate part is we don't, but when there is will, the English says when there's a will, there is a way. If you really think this is an important topic or it's an important discussion for you, you look out for some people who will give you good guidance about that. So the guidance does not only have to now focus on the learners, but also the parents need the guidance. Because they completely don't, and they will force. I have seen scenarios where people in communities, children have gone to school, studied, graduated, carry their degree papers and the gowns back home, hand over to their parents. And this is what you send me to go study. Here is a thing, I'm going to do my own thing. Is that what you want to see with the children? So that is where we really go wrong. We must embrace, we must accept and adapt to what is real, other than what we think. So we are relying much on what we think. Yes, it is true. Back in the days, degrees were very few in a community.
Very few.
For example, in my community where I grew up from, I think there was about 2 or 3 people with degrees and about 1 person.
They could move in any office.
it would be easier because you're just alone. But today with this competition in this world, you must go beyond. It's not all about doing something different, but doing something different from what others are doing. How different are you doing it? We can all be photographers, we can all be journalists,
Yeah.
but which other extra ingredient do you put in this that will make the difference for you? It is okay. You can go study. The degree is not bad. The masters are not bad. Studying to be a lawyer is not bad.
It's not
Studying to
bad.
be a doctor is not bad.
Yeah.
Studying to be an engineer is not bad. But how are you going to make it a little more different? That is what will extremely make differences.
I hear you. So now we come to this part of the agriculture, right?
Yes.
So now there's also another thing that we never talk about,
Yeah.
and that is the time it takes also to bear fruit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times whenever people are speaking about the whole part, or let's say vocational skilling,
Yes.
we forget that also it is a process. It's just that when you do it right, the peak is a little bit higher. But then there's this whole thing whereby people now go, they try it out, because now sometimes there's a guy who was making us laugh who said that he bought that he got a garden, and then he got some pigs, and then he said the pigs went and ate everything in the garden, and he made a loss, and after that the pigs got sick and they died, and he made another loss. So you look at the story like that, and the guy just gave up. But then he started saying that everybody who's saying anything about agriculture is lying. So what are the real challenges in this type of alternative, should I say, opportunities? Because everybody talks about poultry, but nobody talks about the delicacy, how delicate the birds are. Everybody talks about agriculture, but then how does someone find market? So how do you navigate this world in that sort of vocational line of work, or should I say, alternative, should I say, type of employment?
It takes us back to analyzing. Besides the personal analysis, you also conduct analysis on which enterprises you take on.
When you say this analysis, what's the analysis about? Are you comparing it with your talent, with your skill? By the way, before we go that far, do you have to have talent for agriculture? Is that such a thing?
I don't think it is supposed to be a talent.
Yeah.
But it should be the will.
It's a will.
When you get to think about something, you get to assess your strength first. For example, if I am looking out for a career to take on, I'll first analyze myself. Who is Joel as of today? What can I do best? What am I not good at? Now, I'll use what I can do best to point out lines that I can take on. And once I choose 3, 4, 5 lines that a Joel would fit in, then I go on to assess one by one. I do a SWOT analysis. You get to understand the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. Once you do that, then you're able to have one direction with many boxes ticked. Sometimes there's a scenario where you find that you've ticked boxes. There are 2 conflicting events. In this particular career, you realize, yes, there are more opportunities and the strength, but the threats or the risks are high. And then there is this one where you have average opportunities and strength, but the threats are many. In enterprise selection,
You're speaking a lot of English now. So let's break that down for us.
Yes.
So let's say a person is at a crosspath, and they are trying to choose which direction to take. There could be something that looks like it is a hot cake, but the chance of failure is
extremely high.
But then there could be something that doesn't look like it's that much interesting.
Yes, but a good one.
Yeah. Can you give us examples of that before you continue?
Minimum threat.
Can you first explain that for us?
For example, let's look at in the farming line. I'll choose on maybe 2 enterprises for now. I may say maybe coffee production.
Okay.
And I'll also say piggery.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry for the Muslims.
Okay.
Or maybe poultry.
But they get it. They get that.
Poultry is more unifying.
Okay.
When you look at some of the threats in coffee farming, they are more broader and a little fewer. And then when you look at the opportunities, for example, if one of the opportunities that I can come up with a brand like Coffee Atena here, and maybe the other one is maybe just to go and sell in conventional markets. And then when you look at poultry, you realize that there are quite a number of opportunities. I can have stalls of Chikomando somewhere.
Supply eggs.
But I can also supply eggs. I can choose to bake and have cakes using also the eggs there.
Can sell the birds themselves.
I can start out maybe point somewhere and maybe I can roast chicken there, or maybe I can supply to hotels I do. So you realize that there are very many opportunities that are showing up in the poultry enterprise. Now you come to the threats. A single wave like this, you can lose all the birds.
They die in a day.
Yes. Any strain in terms of finances that you cannot avail the feeds on time, they will punish you for the next 2 weeks with a cut in egg production.
Wow, wait, the egg production is determined by how the feeding the consumer. I thought this is a biological process. They're supposed to have it.
It's not obvious. It's not obvious like that. So, but what I try to mention in here is that have a number of trades that you want to take on.
At concept level, you should be informed.
Yes, and then when you may not be informed, but now you're following what your heart is now choosing, what you think you can afford, what you think you can manage. And then at this point, that's when now you reach out to those, you make research now. You contact those that you know, and then they give you thorough analysis on everything. You speak to them to try to be open as much. Sometimes we have motivational speakers in this. We need the real people.
And try to reach out. Is now also a business.
Yes. So go with a mind of knowing what you want. Tell this person, I want to know all the threats, all the opportunities, or the whatever that I can have in this. And then it is by that you now get to choose. You may find that your heart badly wants photography. But actually, in the actual sense, when you go by numbers, fashion and design is the best. But in the actual sense is that me as someone advising you, I am not supposed to make a choice for you. I am just supposed to give you a guidance for you to make a choice out of what you've understood. Now, you analyzing that you tick many boxes in fashion and design, unlike in photography, where you badly wanted it, doesn't mean that you will not do photography later. It's just giving you an opportunity for you to start off.
You have to you prioritize survival.
Very good.
And then after a while you can extend into what is passion.
Very good.
So if I'm getting you right, you're saying that sometimes you might have to just be flexible. Even when you feel that you like something, after getting information, be willing.
If you want to be successful at what you want to take on, go with an open mind. I want to frankly tell you that I had not at any point thought of trading coffee, coming up with a brand and add value to the coffee. No. I really thought, I think I need to be in production alone. At some point, I tried to assess, check here and there, see what I can start off with. And of course, adding value didn't feature anywhere. So I chose to go into production. And when I went into production, now later, I am now coming into value addition. Something that I had really
never thought about. As long as you do your own packaging, roasting, and all that.
And trust me, I earn more in the value addition than even in the production.
But you have to first take advice and start with production.
But there's someone who will also tell you, according to my experience, I have earned more in production. So doing an analysis is really key, because you will realize that maybe I am earning more in value addition because I'm a versatile person. I have multiple skills. I can do this. I can do the marketing myself. And then you find a corner. Yes, you can add value, but you cannot do something. then it becomes a little costly for you because you have to pay for everything.
You have to pay for everything,
which is high.
Okay. So now here comes now the big question.
Yes.
I am Connor. I am living in my room.
Yes.
I have not paid rent for a few months. I tell me agriculture. I don't know where to get land. Some of these vocational skills, I don't know where to start from. Now, what is the entry point? Because we are seeing you here, you already have a brand, you already have coffee which is packaged. Man, you guys, this looks like you're way on the top already. So now, what is the entry point for it? Because the reason why sometimes people feel like they need to really get like a hero is also, man, it's not that easy for you as a person because you just hear the prices of land. It's, I don't know. Is there any advice that you can give us in that line on how to start? Because people say, man, I don't have the. Whenever we are seeing agriculture people, we are seeing Dr. Ian Clark. The man owns 3 mountains. We're seeing Robert Kabushenga. His farm, he needs a car to move around the farm. Then there is you, man. You don't have anything. So what's the entry point now?
Yes. And like continuing in the face of farming, and as I told you, I and you well know that back in the days, when speaking about commercial farming, it was all about having a chunk of land.
10 acres, 20 acres, 30 acres.
It's very different.
Really?
And if you didn't know, actually we have cheap land in the villages, going for as low as 2.5 million per acre.
Wow.
And that's also to open your eyes and ears for today, that these people are even willing to accept installment payments. And once you make the first deposit, you feel to start using your land. You have to be good to win trust also. Trust is very key.
It's very key. You have to be an honest person.
Trust is very key. You must be honest. You must be a person of your word. Land is there. And why I'm saying we are changing the face of farming is that, for example, the green stop farms, we have 2 stations. We have our main farm in Chendejo, and then our demonstration farm in Nakasongola. We've put up this model demonstration farm of 2 acres. And on 2 acres, we have more than 3, 4, 5 enterprises. On 2 acres, there is coffee, which is commercial. We have dairy, which is commercial. We have goats farming, which is commercial. We have local birds, which is commercial. We have piggery, which is commercial. And now agrotourism. 2 acres, 600 plants of coffee, 35 goats, 2 dairy cows, and about 150 local birds. And let the pigs there. Now, for me to take care, we all know that farming is very expensive. We must accept it. Because you have to pay staff, you're not going to do everything yourself, you have to buy inputs, you have to buy this and that. If I have my coffee, coffee will take me about 2.5 to 3 years for me to have my first harvest. That's number one.
I think you know what, you're actually
investing
longer.
for all that long.
Waiting.
That's number one. Now, how do I manage it? Like, this coffee needs inputs. Now, I must cut costs significantly. So what we did, we established a pasture land first on the 2 acres. People can always come and see. We harvest these pastures.
Guys, Joel does agrotourism and he does consultation. So that's a very important thing. Before you continue, speak so that you can get more of this. Continue.
So we have a chopper machine that we now harvest these pastures, pack them in bags. For the first period, even before we stopped the animals, when we established the pastures, we first packed them in form of silage. We preserve them and they can stay for as long as we wish. Thereafter, we now put up structures. Of course, using the local materials, trees, and then some offcuts and everything. We introduced the goats. We started off with a few goats. I think we started off with 2 goats, but they were in kids. They were pregnant. And that was the start of that enterprise. So these goats would stay indoors. Even up today, they stay indoors. That's how we are managing the 2 acres. And then we kept feeding them on the feeds that we already have in the store. But remember, in the field where we are harvesting from, they're still continuing to do what? To grow. Why we are starting with a few numbers is because we are also mindful of how much feeds we have. We do not want to overstock beyond feeding capacity.
beyond the pasture capacity. Yeah.
Now, when these goats are here, they're dropping dung, which is manure that we're using in the coffee. Now, I don't need to go to Container Village to go and buy fertilizers.
Yeah.
You see how I'm cutting costs?
Yeah.
That's number one. In the coffees, I will not leave the garden bare like that with only coffee. I'll grow beans, I'll grow cassava, I'll start some matoke there. I'm rest assured of food.
So there's also no extra expense.
Yes, but also when I sell the beans from nearly 1.5 acres where the coffee is occupying, I'll be able to get some money that can help me maybe to pay maybe a worker to help me in the management of this garden. And then there's this high rocking enterprise that I really encourage the young people to always to jump on if they can. The piggery. We started off with only 2 pigs, a female one and a male one. They mate, bred and got the piglets. Start selling off the piglet. A piglet of 1 month is about 100,000. It goes 2 months, it goes to 200,000. You raise it for 6 months, you send it at 500,000. All this was 350,000. How much will it eat? That alone, you realize that I will sell about 2 piglets at 2 months to be able to pay my 2 staff in a month. As I'm also counting on other things, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have vegetables. I have the restaurants. They're looking for where to buy the vegetables. They cannot find them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you move to now the dairy. Remember, we've been stocking feeds, and the consumption of goats is extremely very low, less than even a kilogram per day. And then we have a lot that can even sustain 1 cow. So we introduce a cow, a brown Swiss, which has a milking capacity of about 15 liters per day. So we bought an in-calf. Start off with 1.
And that's what?
An in-calf. It means it's pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Start off with 1. Start feeding it.
Yeah.
It is giving you dung. Still, you're not spending on fertilizers. And we are saying, actually, goat droppings is one of the best. What is the best hotel in town? You may not need to mention one. Man, it's really, it's the best meal. Goat droppings is the best meal for
Goat dropping?
goat droppings. The dung of goats.
It's the best one?
It's the best meal for coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Any other day.
So that's like a cafe Javas of a coffee
You
plant.
have it there. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have this cow dung that you're also going to blend because you have to match the numbers.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you want to apply and the intervals of application. Now, you're not only going to sell in the nearest time possible to sell the milk, but before you even start off the selling, you're already collecting a dung. You're fertilizing your garden. You're continuing to produce, and the 2 acres are standing. And now agro-tourism. Before I even earn from my coffee 3 years, I just need to set up something not different from others, but with a uniqueness from the rest. And that's what makes the difference. We might all take on the same enterprises, but how I handle my enterprises and how I package my enterprises will make the difference.
The creativity of the
Conan,
business
Peter,
execution.
Jonas, Sarah, and everyone will want to come. And now we see a very good trend of the young people who want to tour and travel. People want to go for staycations, people want to go for holidays, people have finished their examinations and they want to go to a farm and have some benchmarking. We have the spots here. Even when I charge you 3,000 per head for you to come and you feed yourself, will that be too much? But for me, it will be good to my accounts because it will help me to do quite a number of things.
Yeah.
Now, by the time I come to sell my coffee after the 3 years, do you know how many piglets I'll have sold in the 3 years?
A lot.
Because the pig will fall about 3 times in a year.
They 3 times in a year?
A goat will kid about 2 times. And a cow will
Maybe once.
pasturate about once in a year. How many vegetables have I sold in that? How many times have I harvested the beans? Or the genus or whatever that is in the garden.
So it's like a form of integrated approach to farming.
An integration. And then this integration will be an attraction. The attraction will be monetized.
Wow.
It is as simple as that.
Oh wow, that's like so. Now, for all these things that you say, how long did it take you to get to know all this? Is this because sometimes we fear because we are like, how long does it take? So, for example, let's say a person starts right now. When do they start seeing the light at the? Because I don't think there's anything that in life that you ever start and already you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So, right, because it's very important that we don't become motivational speakers in the cliche sense of I started with one feather. We want to give people some more realistic information.
Yeah, sure.
So right now, I'm thinking of agriculture. First of all, I'm in this workplace. Two things. Is it possible to do it when I'm also in this side? Or do I have to be Mumalili Vungambe man? These things here, I'm doing a whole transition. Because people are afraid of starting again that side and it doesn't. You know this. It's a fair question, man. I know you're a farmer and for you things are working out well. But now me, if I go there and I fail, my child does not focusing for fees. The landlady or the landlord does not say, man, your pig is dead, don't pay this month. So whatever we are putting there our foot in this thing, because we are all appreciating that we need to do something more other than these so-called SC jobs.
Yeah.
So how do I start? How do I do this transition? How do I sustain it? For you, what would you give us advice?
Like I mentioned,
Yeah.
understanding what you want from the word go
Yeah.
is very important.
Oh,
Yes. One thing I had not shared is that I grew up in a farming family.
you know what?
A farming family.
Oh, okay.
And I saw how things were really moving. I literally saw money coming out of my parents' pocket when I had gone to do now my diploma after my certificate actually. Now I went to my diploma at Bukalas Agricultural College.
Wow.
And that's when I saw money coming from my parents' pocket. But from before, it was really very different. Because we were growing cassava, we were having cows, we had some goats at home. Always in the holidays, we would take part in these farm activities. And whenever it would come time to go back to school, they would sell off either an acre of cassava or maybe some goats or maybe some cow, and that's where the money comes from. Now I got to realize that actually it's farming that is getting us to survive. For example, I never paid half fees at school. I always did a nil balance at school.
Wow.
Why? Because of farming. So that's stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
I got to pick it up.
I think that now addresses that whole thing of upbringing, making children see the value of some of that exposure.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now that made the difference for me. And then I always looked at my mother not being employed, and she's much into the farming and she has the money. Yes, I want to say she had the money because of farming and she was home. Then I got to know that the main thing was land. She has the land so she can grow whatever she wants. She can rear whatever she wants.
So in other words, if we get even some extra money, if there is someone saying we just buy.
Very good. Now what I'm trying to drive you to is the little canvas I did in my high school and the little economics I've done in my culture, because we also study cultural economics.
Yeah.
We got to know sources of capital. And I think that's what makes the difference. Family and friends, personal savings, which are from working hard. So employment is very key. Liquidifying some of the things if you have any.
Some things that are just
you can get a grant, a donation, a loan, or whatever.
You would advise someone to get a loan?
We shall come to that.
Okay.
Come to that.
Yeah.
Why? Now you have understood what you want. Now when you go for employment, or now when you now go to assess the sources of capital, that's now when you start directing yourself. The problem is that sometimes we know what we want from the word we go, and once we get in the space of earning, we change goalposts.
Yeah.
Now we move with bandwagon. So self-discipline there also features.
Yeah.
Because I am seeing Conan, we are at the same workstation, but he always eats his lunch at maybe Hotel A.
Oh, he orders and take away.
His lunch is about 27,000.
Yeah.
I want to shift from Mama Naka who sells lunch at 3,000
Yeah.
and move to, forgetting that we all have different targets.
We all have different targets. We all are on a different path.
Conan has settled for employment, and his dream was study, get a job, and enjoy my life. Joel's dream was, let me go get employed, earn my money, come acquire my portion, start my farming.
In other words, whatever decisions you make per day, they have to be based on your 10-year plan,
Yes.
30-year plan, not looking at your immediate labor. Yeah.
We are supposed to have plans. We always leave plans to the rich people.
You know?
That they're the ones who are supposed to plan.
Yeah.
You defining what your interest is for tomorrow will influence.
It shapes how you act today.
Very good.
That's a very powerful.
That is what happens.
It's a powerful point.
Yeah. For example, I got my capital from employment.
Yeah.
The first thing I did after school was employment.
Yeah.
I worked in employment, under employment. I earned my money. I earned more insights, more experience. The advantage was that even in my line of employment, I was in line of agriculture, so relating agriculture and conservation.
Yeah.
So I got to understand this. And I also, because I had done a SWOT analysis and I identified opportunities around me, there was a family land. I couldn't jump on a family land to go and settle there, but I went into bull fattening. Yes, it's good. I was earning some good money, and from where I come from, at least young cows are a little cheaper. I could afford one.
What do you think are the mistakes that young people are making that make them fail to save? Because everybody keeps on making funny statements on social media. The money you save today bails you out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So how do we get out of that cycle?
One thing I want to admit for life is that it's very difficult to save cash.
Finally, a motivational speaker that is saying the truth. Because everybody makes us look like we are so wasteful.
No, you can't save cash.
Eddie Kenzo said that even if you make 2K, that you can save 4K. I'm like, you guy.
No. We need to be realistic because we want to help one another.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to save cash.
You have to cut out as much expense as you
I
can.
was sharing you my experience of how I did it. So every time whenever I earned, at the end of the month, get my allowances and my pay, I get a portion. I would enjoy my life. I would go eat well, but I would also spend some money. At least I would get a young calf that maybe has been weaned at about 450 to 500,000. Yeah, I'll be able to afford that.
But not the iPhones.
I'm not the iPhone. Actually, I bought my first iPhone when I had already started farming.
So wait,
but not when I was.
So wait a minute. Now these are very big questions, Joel. Yes. We like to. So how does a person? What's the cutoff between enjoying and the future? Where do we put it at, man? Because should we really suffer at the expense of investing in our future? Should we? It's a very hard question to navigate.
Got an excitement. My advice to the young people is that excitement shouldn't get you eating your seed instead of waiting for your fruit. You either enjoy it today and suffer tomorrow, or a little suffer today and enjoy your tomorrow.
That's actually dope.
Because
I like that.
I'm trying to narrate you how I managed to make it. That I bought windy cows, and then I went into bull fattening. At least if I sold one bull at 450,000 or 500,000, these are reality. Got them in the villages, these local breeds, or a little crossed breeds. When you go to Nakasongola, you'll be able to get those young bulls. Only that today they have gone a little higher. Nakasongola is now has a city status. But if I bought that one per month, or maybe 6 in a year, and then I raise them for a year, I am able to liquidify that tomorrow and buy my 2 acres of land. The difference is I defined what I wanted, I analyzed my space, I identified the opportunities that I had. Now I am riding on the opportunities to get what I want. The strength here is I have known what I want. I am employed. and then there is a family land. Now the point is that with that family land, I can utilize it.
Can I ask you a question that is, I don't know if it's fair or not fair?
Yes.
Would you say that if a person is not born with a silver spoon, they can avoid that period of suffering if they want to jump, if they want to be
Very true.
No, I mean, like, if you're not born with a silver spoon, right? Is it possible for you to actually have a big enough saving to start something unless you dedicate like 5 years of your life and you're like, for these 5 years, I'm not going to be involved in consumerism, I'm just going to invest. Is it possible? Or if you're not born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you allow and you say, man, for the next 2 years, my money, I'm not going to spend it, I'll just all put it in investment.
For your own consumption. Even being born on with a silver spoon in your mouth does not guarantee you're being okay tomorrow. We have seen very many fellows from well-off, high status families. Actually, most of those big people you're seeing around there driving the big machines and what. You don't know what they're going through inside there. Why do you think they constructed those wall faces? For you may think it is security, what, but they're also protecting their problems inside there for you not to see. You don't know that. So what you're going to be tomorrow or your future is determined by you.
I hear you.
That one, you don't need rocket science. It is the reality of life. You must be able. No, of course, you can't eat your cake and have it at the same time.
Yeah. That's powerful. That's tough.
So you either keep it and have it, or you eat it and it's gone. It is as simple as that. You can make it.
I hear you. So now we have started this thing. Our person is doing agriculture. Now I think you can talk about the other second part of. So we have talked about social funding. We have understood that the sources of funding right now, it is going to involve a person having shared discipline and trying to also make sure that they are so aligned with a very long-term process, a long-term plan. Because if you don't have a long-term plan, then you're trapped in the smaller picture, which is if you get money today.
I want to give you an example. I'll relate with coffee because I'm a coffee farmer. A seedling of coffee today is about 2,500 Ugandan shillings. And an acre will take you about 450 or 445
plants.
For someone who's a calculator can make a simple calculation on that, and you realize you spend at most about 1.5 million buying seedlings. You're going to take care of these seedlings for the next 3 years. But remember, the cost of input goes rising as the coffees grow. But as also the coffees grow, you stand high chances of now getting the returns also. Today, a kilogram of coffee, let's say, is at 10,000 Uganda shillings. Going big. If you have read quite, that's after hauling. And you have properly managed your garden and it has given you a minimum of, we always speak about 3, but let's say 2 kilograms of green bean per plant. So you have about 20,000 Uganda shillings per plant and you have 450 plants. How much money have you got in the first season?
Wow.
You sacrificed your iPhone today and postponed it to buy the next day. Actually, 3 years ago, I think it was iPhone 11 or what?
Oh, it comes to iPhones, I'm bleak.
And today it's 17 CG1. You see that?
That one which they separated the light and the camera.
Very good. And would you choose an 11 or
the
17? Latest, right? And today you can afford it. Because you're making sales and the burden is still there. But then you earned at the moment it's quite finished. And maybe you were sacked from the job. Or maybe you've even retired.
And now you're busy calling everybody.
The bills are piled up.
Everybody avoid your phone calls now.
Very good.
So that's very interesting. So now you're in employment, right? 2 things that you have to balance. I think for you right now, you're full-time into agriculture, right? Of course, there are some things that you do, but I think that right now you probably do agriculture more.
Farming is my
farming is your thing. So now I am here. I have trap at office. I have to work. I have to do that. So what are the first initial steps into this sort of transition?
I can say because we have different sources of capital. And when you look at majority of our banks today, the kinds of loans they offer is that you get the loan today, you obtain the loan today, and you have to pay at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But when you're going to venture into farming, maybe you're getting a loan to buy land. And then from buying land, that does not guarantee that you're making returns.
Yeah, it takes
investment now on the land.
Yeah.
And then how much it will take to mature for you now to get the money back.
Get the money back.
So you realize that, yeah, serving somewhere is also important.
Yeah.
You can be employed, but as we said, you must define what you want, and then you start on that. No, you don't just wake up one day and you say, I am leaving employment, I have goals, without starting anything.
Like I just said,
otherwise you will
yeah,
get problems. You might even live with a bank balance, actually.
What?
Bank balance.
The bank balance, yeah.
And then you fail to utilize it.
Yeah.
You end up just wasting it. Because even buying land, you're not just going to move and buy anywhere. Actually, some people, today we are speaking about now buying land. But there is also going into agriculture without buying land.
Quite how? Releasing.
Yeah, you can lease, you can rent.
But first give us a figure. Now we just put you on the spotlight. You need to give us like a figure.
Yes.
Okay? What should that cushion be? Like what for you? I think that there has to be a threshold of how you start in agriculture such that you are sure that at least you're supervising something that has potential. Not this, we don't want to tell people to rush into something and then you find that when you project it, it might not be able to carry them. So what should be the minimum amount of money that a person is looking at? We don't want these things of people lying to us and they tell us that you can have 50K on your mobile money and you go into farming and then you leave your job and then you come back begging. What are the figures and what is a safe start so that you can at least be sure that a person, why are we saying that? We need people to actually have a target. Because, I mean, everybody here who's watching us tells us that they want a car. But when they tell us that they want a car, they tell you that their target is 15 million. Everybody here who's watching us is going to tell you they want a phone which is new. And they tell you the target for that phone is 3.5 or 2.5. And they go and they get a payment plan. What should be the target for somebody to really venture into agriculture and an estimate of something that can actually, after maybe those 2-3 years, they can really start seeing a worthwhile return that can actually facilitate their life?
Conan, this will depend entirely on where one is.
We have agreed at least that someone is going to go to the village. No one is going to farm in Chanja.
Someone can farm in Chanja. The KCC demonstration farm is in Chanja. So.
Well, that's KCC, they're using our taxes.
Yeah, and even when you visit areas of water, there are people who have cows there.
Jesus
so
Christ.
someone can choose to.
Someone buys land of 1 billion for cows, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
I may not give actual figures because these also vary by what you already have.
Yeah.
What you're looking for and what is the target.
What is the target?
Yes. But at least there are numbers that we look at that for someone who is going to venture into maybe layer birds, at least you need to have maybe a minimum of 1,000 birds. Or maybe who's going for broilers, maybe you can start with as low as maybe 200 broilers. Or maybe
broilers are ones for meat.
Yes. Sure. And maybe for someone who is going for piggery, maybe you can start with a minimum of maybe 3 or 5. So it really depends on where one is and maybe the kind of target that you want to set. And once you get to analyze all these various enterprises, the numbers will tell. And of course, the numbers keep fluctuating, keep changing by day. Yeah. Today, the cost of offcuts, if it's maybe 1,500, tomorrow you may get it at 2,700.
Yeah.
They will actually, even the numbers will tell you the war in Iran has influenced the cost of avocado. Yeah. Yeah. So that's really happens. And for that particular question, I would really advise one to first identify what you want to do, what is your target.
And maybe look for a farm and talk to a farmer.
And maybe speak. Yeah. Actually, in agriculture, there are 2 things. You must visit and you must host. Wherever you sit back and do your thing, you will assume you have reached the peak.
You assume uchikuye.
And when you host, you don't only need to host these who are below, who are still crawling. You also host those who are at your level, who are higher than you. For those who are higher than you, they will come and critique as opposed to be negatively and keep questioning why do you do this. But they'll also give you advice on how you're supposed to maneuver. And when you go and visit, you will be able to see your benchmarking literally how someone is happening to do something and maybe what are they doing different from what you're doing. For us, the competition of coffee farmers is the number of clusters. Because when I look at the branch, I will count how many clusters. 17, 12, because if you have 10, you cannot compare with, you cannot compete with me who was about 17. When you host only these that are below, they'll keep telling you, you've really hit the pig, or you're the best at this. You get that? Then you get that confidence that maybe I have made it. Getting the extra sense, it's not making sense. So for a starter, visiting out for people who have already started something, it's really, really very key. Sometimes I also get to think that maybe the government should also maybe change something. These sub-county extension workers should be allocated portions at the sub-county where they are going to implement something. Otherwise, they come to your garden or to your farm, tell you whatever nonsense they want to speak, but it's not tested and proven. These are just assumptions, theories in the books.
I hear you. So right now, we're just going to have, like, as we are closing up, we're just going to try to talk about how, like, people who are nurturing young children, what wholesome ideas, what should your child know? What should your child know? Now, the reason we are saying this is because, for example, you have agrotourism. I feel like right now the only two skills, or the two skills that our children have is that qualification from school and then the tablet for internet and video games, right? But honestly, in this world that we are going in, where it is changing, if you're raising a child, what skill should a child have by the time they're at university level that can actually sustain them?
I wouldn't call it a skill, but I'll call it a benefit. One of the benefits that your children must have is to be able to appreciate what they have in the environment around them.
When you say that, in what context?
They shouldn't push things away from them. They should be able to look at the environment around them, assess and find out what best can work out for them. Which opportunities are in their communities. For example, I could choose to take my child to a good school, but I don't want to take my child to a very good school, top school in Uganda or maybe Nairobi or where, because I have the money. Now I'll be looking at network. Because social capital is also very big thing in life. Not only in farming, not only in what, but everywhere. I've always I've been at workplaces where there's always a clique. Jabdonians, Canadians. So that thing really happens. And you present your papers and someone gets to know, you're from this school. And maybe your hobbies and what. That can give you mileage. But when you also realize that some of these schools, they'll also nurture people who are moving to better spaces, and these are your potential clients. So I am moving you to school. I don't say that some schools have better opportunities or what. It's according to how one thinks or reasons it out. But me, I will take you to a school that has a good population. Because the more the people you reach out to, the more clientele that you have. And then when I train you to take advantage of your surrounding, you choose a career that will fit the population that you have because that's your clientele. So that's something that really parents have to
think about.
Yes. And then also you should avoid promoting what you think is right. Promote some. Parents sometimes move in assumptions or bandwagons because someone's child went to a law school, must also go to a law school. No.
They want to live through your children's...
Actually, I would take my child to go study early childhood development. Yes, me I would. Do you know why? Because I can even start an early childhood school at my farm. And then the communities will bring me the children. And then it's beyond A, E, O, or ABCD. It's now life, real life. These young people will be in position to know what it takes for a plant to grow. By the time they get to adult age, at least they have some basics. There are some schools.
Yeah.
And if I have my child who is going to use my space to train the runners, integrate with what we have on the farm, I think that would be one of the best. I would encourage my child to go and specialize in maybe in ICT, because today I struggle engaging with international buyers. They need timeliness. And then I got to realize that in my position today, I have a lot on my table. And I need ICT. I didn't go to sit in a computer class, but I've been able to learn computer with friends and then personal experiences. But if my child specializes in this, now you see that there is already an opportunity that this child must use for him to be able to survive tomorrow.
So that's how most of these successful clubs are raising their children. There's that intentionality.
Yes.
Not just this thing of just saying, let's just skill somebody. Wow.
For example, the time you've spent in shooting in conservation or in agriculture, I am sure today at least you can figure out some few things in those two lines.
Yeah.
Now, if my child went for ICT and now is promoting this ICT at the farm, tomorrow you'll hear this person is a versatile person. He has my first skills in agriculture, in marketing, in tourism, and what. That's how it comes. It doesn't come by follow brain.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just heard it from Joe. You don't have any excuse. Like we said, we haven't always bring the right people here. So in case things don't go right in your life, you know that for a fact you listened to a lot of advice, but you always kept on trying to shine it. Joe, before we go, I want you to just really tell us about the Greenstop Farm Limited and just try to extend it. What is this? What is the journey behind it? What is its identity? And what can you offer the people out there that are watching us?
Yeah, the Greenstop Farm is a mixed farm enterprise. We are based in Chenjejo district, in Charusozi Town Council, and that's in western part of Uganda. That's Toro region. That's hosts our. It is a home for our main farm, and we have quite a number of enterprises at that farm. But besides that farm, we also have a demonstration farm, which is a model farm. It is also commercial. Yeah, it's not a commercial. It's also a commercial farm that we earn out of it. But this was also set up for the purpose to now change the image of farming. Like we've been narrating over and over that back in the days we always thought that farming, for you to do commercial farming, you need to have a bigger chunk of land. And for us, we are saying, no, you don't need a big chunk of land. Even the small portion that you have, you can have commercial farming. As in, you earn a living out of it. Actually, you can even take your children to top schools with a small portion of land. So whatever that is at the main farm is also at our demonstration farm. We have our major enterprise as coffee. We do coffee farming. We also add value to our coffee. We do dairy production, and of late we have also ventured into value addition of the milk that we get from the cows. We now process it into cow ghee. Very soon we want to jump onto cheese, which is being demanded more by many of the hotels. We have local birds. The reasons why the local birds is because everybody today wants to have the best. And then because of the agro-tourism, we want to have farm experiences. Just imagine you coming to the farm, then you point out to a bird and we say, okay, run after it. You pick it, you eat it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a very fun experience.
Oh, you should have visitors, man.
We also do goat farming. And goats here, their main source of manure for our, actually the farm, the animal enterprise, the animal section is mainly to provide manure to our cropping section, because you cannot do today with the climate change today. There's a lot of soil depletion. You have to enrich it with
the fertility has reduced.
Yeah, extremely. And with the counterfeits today on market, it's really very difficult to get to what is right. and also the costs today of purchasing it, you realize it. And for us in entrepreneurship, we minimize our input to maximize our output. So that is really something that we really do. But besides all what we do there, we have agrotourism where people choose to come have a staycation at our farms, come have consultation, come to tours. But we have now also opened up for internship for children in tertiary institutions, but also the young children in primary schools, secondary schools, and even adults. You can choose to come, stay with us for a period of time that you may choose to have with us to go through the different farm activities. We train you on this, and we not only give you this training, but also there are some small things that you can really walk away with. For example, you've been able to raise nursery seedlings. You can go with nursery seedlings. For example, if you raise vegetables and maybe part of your money bought the planting materials, why not to go back with them? You can put in practice. We don't want you to come and train with us and then you go back and start being dormant. You will get to forget. The best way of learning is to practice now and then. So the Green Stop Farm is there, and it's open for the public. You just reach out to us through our email, thegreenstopfarmlimited@gmail.com. You can reach out to our phone calls on 0787 244682 and 0702 310682. But you can also reach out to our socials and our website. You can check on us and then see what we do. You're all welcome to the Green Stop Farms. We are here to change the face of farming.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Joel, for your time. Thank you for coming and honoring us and for giving us that information. So, guys, are you seeing that this is different from what you always watch? People triggering you, people abusing you, people making you, I have always argued that you shouldn't watch. If you're watching information and at the end of that information, two things, you've not learned anything and you're moving away with your mental health in a funnier state than before you watched it, you can, for a fact, be knowing that you're consuming the things that are wrong for you. But if you can watch something and you feel challenged and you feel that you've acquired new information and you feel that there's something that you can right now start doing better compared to what you have been doing, I think now that's value addition that he's talking about. Stay together. Until next time, bye-bye.